has always been assumed and widely accepted that Steph Curry is not a clutch player. Through various examples like the 2016 finals and plenty of compilations of this man missing either game-tying or game-winning shots in the playoffs, leading the way in the Steph Curry is not clutch conversation. But with Curry being the second player to ever win Clutch Player of the Year in the 2024 season, it's kind of poisoned the well on that whole conversation. It begs the question again, is Steph Curry clutch? First of all, let's start by setting up the groundwork for this debate. We can't start just building a house if we don't have a good foundation. No matter how many bricks Klay Thompson might show up with, you still need to start somewhere. So first, what is the definition of clutch? Google says, a mechanism for connecting and disconnecting a vehicle engine from its transmission system. Oh, yeah, that's the wrong type of clutch. In the bottom, it says in sport, denoting or occurring in a critical situation in which the outcome of a game or competition is at stake. Okay, now that we have that definition, let's move on. After doing a lot of research, man, everything that kept popping up was just those missed shots by Curry. Missing and missing and missing. Do you know he's 0-12 when it comes to potential go-ahead shots in the final 45 seconds of the fourth quarter or overtime in the playoffs? And when I started looking at that, I was like, should I even be wasting my time doing that, man? You can't even find compilations like that on somebody like, for example, Kyrie. That almost made me like just throw this idea in the trash and kind of move on to the next video. Start doing a little bit more research, you know, like maybe I could prove that he's in the same realm as Kyrie in terms of clutches. Maybe I have a shot, right? Because Kyrie's considered like the clutchest player in the NBA, if not one of the clutchest players in the NBA. So if I can prove he's at least somewhere in the ballpark around him in terms of clutchness, then maybe I think I would have proved my point successfully. First, I mean, let's start with the elephant in the room. Curry's won clutchest player of the year and Kyrie has not. Let's be honest. Curry won the second ever clutchest player of the year award. I think the first year they gave it out, Kyrie got traded to the Mavs. Second year, he played only 57 games, so makes sense why he hasn't won it yet. I'm sure he'll win it once or twice by the time he's done with his career. But nevertheless though, Curry won it this last year. And a lot of people might sit there and say, look, that award is meaningless. The stats don't back it up. So you know what? Let's look into that and see if the stats actually do back that up. If I can prove to you at least that he was more clutch than Kyrie was for at least 1 year, I mean, maybe that kind of changes your mind a bit. The next problem is, how do we even calculate clutchness? There's not a stat called clutchness, but after doing some research, I found the stat called win probability added, WPA. I'm just gonna call it WPA for the rest of this video to make it simple. And yeah, I found an article that was very long. It had a lot of fancy charts explaining the stat, and I'm just gonna really quickly summarize. NBA win probability added, WPA, explains how to measure the impact of a player's actions on a team's chances of winning a game. Traditional stats don't account for the context of the game, but WPA does. For example, Ray Allen's crucial three-pointer in Game 6 of the NBA Finals significantly increased Miami Heat's win probability, unlike a typical first-quarter three-pointer. WPA considers made and missed shots, turnovers, and rebounds, calculating their impact on win probability to better reflect a player's contribution to the game's outcome. Perfect. Okay, check. We found a stat that shows how clutch a player is. Now, let's put Steph Curry's most clutch award to the test. I actually found a really cool website called stats.unpredictable.com, which actually tracks WPA per game per season, so we can really get to the nitty gritty. So let's do it. Let's select the 2024 season, okay, per game WPA, and prove once and for all that Curry is clutch, even clutchier than Kyrie.
Oh my God, bro.
Oh, hell no, man.
Brother, this guy stinks!
Oh no. Oh, I guess not. I mean, I guess Kyrie just didn't play the whole season, and that's probably why he didn't win it. But Curry wasn't even second, he was fourth. Yo, honestly, when I saw that, I was like, yeah, video's over. Like, I'm done. I don't even video's done. I thought I had Hiroshima in my back pocket, and I was wrong. I don't have anything. And I was like, man, I was gonna hold on to that Clutch Player of the Year award. That WPA stat just showed up out of nowhere and just ruined it for me. But not all is lost. I checked WPA per game per season for the last 10 years. Right here, I listed the years, and right next to it, where each respected player finished in that year. Obviously, the lower the number, the better. So if he finished first place, you're going to see a 1 next to it. He finished first. That means he was the clutchest player in the whole NBA. And in the last 10 years, in the regular season, this is how Kyrie did. This is how Curry did. That is surprising. And a lot of people are like, yo, that's cool in the regular season. But when it comes to the playoffs, come on. It ain't even a factor. You saw the 2016 finals, right? Y'all just activated my trap card. This website shows you the WPA for the postseason too. So I checked WPA last 10 years. That's it. I got my silver bullet. That's it. It's over with. It's over with. Curry is light years more clutch than Kyrie. Is not what I'm going to say. I'm not going to say it. Now, am I saying that Steph Curry is better than Kyrie when it comes to being clutch? No. And this is honestly the main point of the whole video. When you're going to judge something, you shouldn't solely base it off the eye test. You're not watching every game of every player, every minute. You're not watching it. You're not watching. There's too much stuff to do. Everybody has their own lives. Nobody got time for that. And let's keep it a buck. Most people watched the 2016 finals because it was a game 7, which everybody's going to tune in for. It's probably the last great finals we've had in forever. So those memories are engraved in people's heads, and they see Curry not playing well in the fourth quarter. And it was honestly probably one of his worst, unclutchiest performances ever in the finals. And they remember Kyrie hitting that shot. So forever and always, Kyrie was more clutch than Curry. Curry was not clutch at all, and Kyrie was the most clutchest player in the NBA. But when you break it down, that's a completely different story. And here's the thing about stats. These numbers, they're omnipresent figures that capture everything about each game, but they sometimes lack a little context. That's where the eye test will come in. My main argument is we shouldn't come to a conclusion solely based on the eye test or solely based on stats. We should use both in tandem before we make a decision. With all that said, is Steph Curry clutch? I'm gonna let you come up with your own conclusion on that. In my opinion, he's had some misses to put away games, but he's also had some very clutch shots. He's also had games where he scored a lot in the last few minutes, so the last shot didn't even matter. Everybody talks about the 2016 finals, but nobody talks about 2016 conference finals. And if we watch the 2022 finals against the Celtics, same thing. This man was playing great, and in the fourth quarter in game 6, put them away. So that's the conference finals and at the finals where he was clutch. So he has the stats to prove it, the highlights to prove it. He does have some lowlights, but who doesn't? The same way y'all judge LeBron's 2011 finals is the same way y'all judge Curry in the 2016 finals. And LeBron statistically is probably the clutchest player to ever live, but he has the 2011 finals. Don't let one series change your whole perspective on a player. In my opinion, he has the highlights to back it up. He has the stats to back it up. I think he's clutch. Editing K Belly here. I forgot to say at the end of the video, leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Appreciate y'all. Have a good one. Peace.